Robert was a doubter, liked the show, but was a doubter. And here is his email. Robert says, I never thought I'd be saying this, but you were right. I have been a loyal listener for about 10 years, and I always took your advice with a grain of salt. I felt I was a good judge of character, but I was wrong. Recently, I quit my job and moved across the country to be with my girlfriend in New York. Oh, Jesus. We had been together in Los Angeles for 2.5 years, and things were perfect. She was not like the women you warned us about. She didn't want kids. She was financially responsible. She was totally committed to the relationship, no baggage. She was smart and caring, and we were best friends, in addition to being a couple. When I was sick, she stayed by my side and helped me through it. We supported each other. We were a team. When she got into nursing school in New York, I knew that I would not be following her. I knew that I would be following her. We had been living together in Los Angeles for almost 2 years at this point, and I couldn't imagine my life without her. Because our Los Angeles apartment lease was not up for several months, I decided I would stay in L.A. over the summer while she established herself in New York and attended summer semester. Our plan was to join up in September. We were separated for a little less than 3 months. And during this time, I sent her drawings, photos, mixed CDs, and even appliances for the apartment that we would soon be sharing when I came to live with her. She didn't send me very much, but I accepted that she was busy with school. It was, after all, a rigorous program. At the end of August, I moved out and arrived in New York. I got settled in the new apartment, and as I was putting away my things, I came across a mix CD that I did not recognize. She suddenly became very nervous, and I questioned her about it. She lied and told me that she made it for me but never gave it to me because she didn't like how it turned out. She then took it and broke it in half so I couldn't hear it. We argued over the next few days, and eventually she admitted that she cheated on me over a period of 2 weeks in July. Some guy in a bar, probably one of your students, was persistent about getting her number, and finally did. They had sex in our bed at least a dozen times, she told me. And she was starting to develop feelings for him. Right before I was to arrive, she broke it off with him. She was hoping I would never find out about it, and she just allowed me to uproot my life and move across the country without telling me all this. Now I have no choice but to move out and break up with her. Tom, you were right. I really, truly never thought it could happen to me. I thought we were different. I am amazed that I could have been such a poor judge of character. I am usually distrustful by nature, so when I trust someone, it is a rare thing. The good news is that she will have to move out too, because we were living in university couples housing, so at least she will have to pay for her mistake. I hear that it can be hard to find housing in Manhattan. Good thing I'll be back in sunny L.A. So another listener, Robert, thank you for that honest report from the field. Here was another listener who thought he knew more than the professor. He thought he knew best. He thought you could send your girlfriend to New York for the summer and that she'd be faithful and loyal and waiting for him. But come on, a young woman just arrived in New York City, there for the first time, living on a college campus. Are you kidding me? Of course, every guy in town is going to be after her. And of course, after she's alone enough nights, at some point, she'll say, oh, I got drunk, and one thing led to another. And this is what happens. When your girl, if you insist on having a relationship, when your girl says, I'm going to school in New York, or I'm going to school in Madrid, or I'm going to school in San Francisco, or wherever she says she's going, that's the time to say, you know what? It's been a good run. It's been very nice knowing you. Because it's my belief that in 9 out of 10 cases, this is what you're going to end up with. This is what you're going to get. God, it must be painful for this guy. Really painful. I've warned you about this. I have told you on this program there is no such thing as a long-distance relationship. Long-distance relationships are relationships in which both parties or one party has sex with someone else while the two people are apart. Sometimes it's just one party having sex and the other person sending mix CDs and saying, I can't wait, cupcake, until we're together again. Sometimes it's both sides. But there really is no such thing as a long-distance monogamous relationship. They don't exist. I told you that, but of course, as Robert said in his email, he thought they were different. They were not different. It was the same old story. The same. Every now and then I like to find out when you thought you knew more than the professor. You went in direct violation of the wisdom imparted on this program, of the stories I've told you, of the experience I've shared with you. Personal, painful experiences where I have been cut to the quick. I tell you what's happened. I try to keep you from being burned the way I was, and yet somehow you thought you were smarter than me, and you went ahead and did your own thing, like Robert did, and you found out the hard way. If you're one of these people, if you thought you knew more than the professor, if you went out and broke the rules and got burned like Robert who wrote the email, now is the time to write in and tell me about it.
Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Do you have kids?
By design, I do not.
You don't?
By design.
By design?
Yes.
What's that thing?
By dictionary. Stupid bitch.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM, that's our telephone number. All right, you thought you knew more than the professor. Every once in a while we catch up with people who thought they knew more and they got burned. People like you. James on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Dad. How you doing?
All right, son.
All right. Yeah, I broke the 3-date rule.
How many times did you break it?
Well, this is when I first started listening to you, and I think I went on like maybe about 4 or 5 dates with her, and I think I'm guesstimating here about like $500.
So you not only went over the number of dates, you spent $500.
Yes, I did.
Because if you went on 4 dates, that would be, what, $160?
Right. But it's not an excuse, but one of the reasons why it's that high is because actually it was for a concert, and I paid a lot of money.
What have I told you about concerts?
Like I said, that this is like within the first year I started listening, and I didn't know anything about, taking girls to concerts and all that stuff. So, like I said, I never broke the rule after I learned it. I never broke it again, but,
Yeah. I mean, if you have to pay a facility fee for Ticketmaster, it's not for a date.
Gotcha.
Because I'll tell you what, the facilities fees for Ticketmaster are usually more than $40.
Oh, yeah.
Just the fees.
I learned that firsthand. Like I said, I'll never break it again. But, this is the case where, she really wanted to go. And I thought that, if I was, to get those tickets, I thought I was going to get some. And I did get some eventually, but I spent a lot of money doing it. And, with that money, I might as well just went out and got like a hooker or something.
Yeah, you would have gotten more sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did you try to go for it? Did you try to get her to put out?
Yeah, I did. She did eventually, but it wasn't on the night that we went on that concert, though.
Mm-hmm.
But, she did eventually put out. And it never really went... Yeah, eventually. And it never really went anywhere after that because, the sex was horrible. But, it definitely wasn't worth the price of admission. I'll tell you that. So... Hey,
I don't blame you. I got to tell you something. When you spend too much money, when you waste too much time and energy with a chick, this is what you generally get. Yeah. And here's the big question, of course. We already know the answer. Was it worth waiting for? And the answer was, of course...
Hell no. Hell no.
Hell no. Hell no.
No.
That's why I tell you, if it takes more than 3 dates, there's no chemistry.
Right, I should have been able to pick up on that, in the beginning. I guess maybe I wore her down or something like that. Maybe she felt obligated to, after that amount of time and, amount of money, because I'm pretty sure she knew how much money I spent for those tickets. So maybe she felt guilty, maybe I guilted her into, giving it up.
So you got a mercy hump.
Yeah. So, it definitely wasn't, for the purpose that that I was hoping for, that maybe, she was into me, or maybe she will eventually become into me. But, yeah, it was definitely not worth it. And like I said, at the time I knew about the 3-date rule. That's when you're really starting to hammer it home to like some of your other callers, not to go past the 3-date rule, especially in regards to cost, over the $40 rule. But I thought, well, man, she really wanted to go, and I'm pretty sure, this would like probably give her, to go. And like I said, I just...
But it doesn't work that way. Buying chicks stuff doesn't make them aroused. It doesn't.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Dad.
No, I'm just saying buying chick stuff doesn't make them aroused. Chemistry makes them aroused. And by the way, having chemistry has nothing to do with how you look. It's all about chemistry. If you don't have chemistry, you can't create it.
Right. Definitely.
And you can't buy it.
And there are definitely signs. Hey, guys listening, hey, there are definitely signs when you're on a date with a chick, whether or not she's into you. Body language is definitely a big thing. And, looking back at it now, I can tell. I can tell right then and there she was not into me. Hey, it was just, her body language, the way she talked to me, it was just like maybe, it wasn't maybe, she just was not into me. She was not into me at all. So.
And it doesn't mean that other women wouldn't be into you. It's just her, that's all. Maybe she has bad taste. Maybe she doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah, and after I really started taking your rules to heart, I never really had a problem with any chicks after that, So, yeah, I definitely picked the wrong one that time. I picked the wrong one. And definitely a wrong time. I picked the wrong time to violate, one of your rules.
At the time you were violating the rules, though, you knew you were violating them, right?
Right. The 3-date rule, definitely. I knew I was violating that one, yes.
And you got what you paid for.
Well,
you got mercy sex from a chick who was not into you.
Yeah.
And you could have gotten the same result having spent 1/4 the money.
Yeah. With some, chick on the street or something, So I tell you this, Dad, I will never break one of your rules again, ever.
Well, I'm glad you finally figured it out because, again, what I tell you on the radio is based on personal experience. You see, I had all this pain. I did all the things I tell you not to do. And because I did these things, I come on the radio to warn you.
Yeah.
And so you can believe that when I tell you something like this, it's because I suffered the way you suffered. You did not need to go through this.
I I should have paid more attention. I should have followed the rules. And like I said to everyone listening now, you just heard one story, and I'm pretty sure you're going to hear a lot more. This should just remind you guys never to break any of Tom's rules. It's in your best interest not to do so. Hey, Dad, can you take me out with a big bong rip and a thank you, Jesus?
Here they come.
Thank you, Jesus.
1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. I'm talking about the things you've done that I warned you against. You thought you knew more than I did. You went ahead and did your own thing. And you learned the hard way. 1-800-5800-866. That's our telephone number. Luke on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Oh, boy. Here we go. You're going to chew me out, Dad. I'm not only calling to tell you what I think I might have done wrong, but I'm also calling to ask for advice. I met this one MILF and got attached to her and got attached to her kids. We, after about a year of knowing each other, we moved in, and I've always been there for her for whatever she needed, even when her car got repoed. Well, I wanted to buy a truck anyway, so I bought a truck and I let her use it, and she has been using it for the past almost year and a half, 2 years. And she's never been there for me, like never there. Whenever I need her help, she's not there. Whenever she needs to borrow money, I let her borrow money, but whenever I need to borrow money, she pitches a complaint about it, and so our lives are not matching. So
they never matched. You never had any interest in having kids. You certainly never had any interest in raising some other guy's kids or being there and having responsibility for some other guy's kids. You had no interest in that. You thought you had a fine piece of ass and you were willing to pay the price of admission.
Well, yeah, I guess so. But I do have kids myself, and I did grow attached to her kids. And
wait a minute, did you move your kids in with her kids?
They're on over on the weekend,
So you have actually mixed up your kids in your love life.
Yeah.
And you mixed your kids up with her kids.
Yep.
All to get laid.
Well, at first, yeah, but eventually I got feelings for her.
Well, why do you have feelings for somebody who clearly doesn't care about you?
Stupidity, I guess.
Right.
But, anyways, we decided.
And weren't you worried about the effect that would have on your own kids?
Yeah.
No, you weren't, because you let the kids hang out there anyway.
Yep. They are attached to her kids, and they're, they like the place that we live at. So it's going to be tough, but we did decide that we're going to be splitting up, and I'm moving out.
Now, if you've learned anything here, Luke, are you still having sex with this woman?
Haven't for about a week.
A week? Luke, do not have sex with her again.
Really?
Of course, if you're moving out, this is the time that women like this decide they're going to forget about their birth control and try to have a memento of you.
Well, I'm sick.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, you do have a point there, but,
on top of that, having sex with her sends a mixed message. Women connect sex and love. A woman might think you care about her by having sex with her. Now, if you're not living with a woman or you are, not involved, you're not committed in any way, well, then who cares if that's how she feels? But you're living with her.
Right.
And her kids.
Well,
having sex with her sends a mixed message. Sorry, having sex with her.
Well, that's really hard not to do because I'm, I live there and still very attracted to her.
But you have to say, look, there are some times you have to be the man and step up to the plate and say, look, we're breaking up. This doesn't make any sense to do this.
Yeah. Well, I was going to stick around for about a month or two.
Why, so you could get a few more bangs in?
No, actually, so I could wait for the condo that I'm going to be buying.
You're waiting for a condo. I didn't say you can't live there. Oh, yeah, are you a prostitute? You're a gigolo? You have to have sex in order to stay there?
No.
All right. So you can stay there, just don't have sex with her.
I'll try not to.
Well, don't give me the try not to business. Don't cop out. You're going to have sex with her. I can already hear it. But I'm telling you now, you already did what I told you not to do, and you got burned. I'm warning you. Don't do what I tell you not to do again.
All right.
Because I'm telling you, do you know that I once had, I've told this story on the radio, so I'm going to condense it. There was a woman I had a relationship with, and I cheated on her. And I felt so badly, I moved out. By the way, she wanted to resolve everything. She wanted to fix everything, and I was like, I felt horrible that she caught me. And so I moved out, moved in with the other chick who turned out to be a total psychotic bitch. And when I got thrown out of my place and she changed the locks on me, this is the woman I had the affair with, who was there waiting to pick up my pieces? It was my ex-girlfriend, the one I cheated on. She said, come back, you can crash on the sofa until you figure out what you're going to do. Nobody else, no friends, no relatives, nobody else would take me in but her. So I came and I slept on the couch. And she spent her time trying to lure me back into bed. Had I gone back to bed, I would have stayed there. Because she would have just pretended nothing happened, and then we would have just gone on with our lives. You don't want that to happen. If you have decided to leave, you have to be consistent. Hang on a second here. Rachel, what did you want to say to Luke?
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, dear.
I just wanted to tell him that he's a moron, okay? If you're going to have kids, sweetie, you don't outside your kids.
All right, darling. We have a zero-tolerance policy. Unfortunately, you can't use the P word in that context. So we're going to have to say goodbye to you. But we will keep Luke on the air here. We did bleep that, right? Great. Okay. So let's keep Luke on the phone here, and let's say hello to Joe. Joe also has some spicy commentary here for you. Joe, what do you want to say to Luke?
Luke, you seem like the stupidest human being who's called the show in a while. I was telling the screener, Tom ought to be able to, like, push a button and electrocute lamos like you and protect the gene pool. You know, like in that early James Bond movie where Blofeld electrocutes the traitor. I mean, and that gal who just got off the phone, right. When you meet a gal who's got kids and she instantly puts her kids in the path of youth, that's a sign that she's not thinking straight, man. That's not good for her kids. It wasn't good for your kids. Wasn't good for you, and you're still sitting there trying to this dope that she's peddling between her legs, man. You're strung out, and you don't have the willpower to quit. You need some kind of 12-step program, or maybe just do us all a favor and just check out, man, because she's got your truck, she's got your wallet, and she's got your cojones, your huevos firmly in her grasp, and she doesn't even like them that much, but they're worth money to her. She is a leech, man, and you are allowing this leech to just tap you out and fouling up your kids, and this is going to be bad for your kids. Hasn't done her kids any good. Well, she's thoughtless, man. Yeah, but she's needy. She needed your money. This is a one-way deal. It's all for one and all for her. Dude, just end it all, man. Tom, bong me to Jesus.
All right, here you go, Joe.
Thank you, Jesus.
Now, Luke, what do you think about that?
I think both of your callers are right, and I think you're right. But I did at first Well, not at first, but I did think that it was going to turn into a serious relationship, but obviously it's not. So,
any relationship where you have to pay for entry is not a serious relationship.
Yeah, I guess so. Well,
I got one more. Don't rush off on me here, Luke. Let me get Philip on the line here. Philip, what did you want to say to Luke?
Hey, first time there, Tom. Luke, you're an idiot. I don't care what you do with your life, screwing with your kid's life and that other girl's life. What are you smoking, man? I left my wife and my kids. They didn't meet anybody that I dated, ever, until it was a serious enough relationship. They got enough stuff in their head. You don't need to screw with them. And that's about all I got to say. You're just an idiot.
What do you think, Luke?
yeah, it's a hard lesson to learn.
I imagine it is. Eric, what did you want to say to Luke?
Luke, man, I want to know what you're doing. You called and said, Tom, I want your advice. Tom, give me your advice. And now you want to argue with everything he says. Are you calling for affirmation for your stupidity, or are you calling for advice? If you're calling for advice, listen. Take it apart. You screwed up once. Listen to somebody who's got a plan. You're pretty screwed up. You admitted you screwed up. You asked for help. Look to take the help, or don't waste everybody's time. Pretty
right.
simple.
Well, the only thing that I feel like arguing about is, having sex.
Dude, why would you do it? You've already totally screwed your kids up by bringing them in. There should be nothing that goes in front of your kids. Not your own junk, not her stuff. Nothing goes in front of your kids. You already screwed that up. Listen. Don't screw it up anymore. Walk, dude. You gotta walk. Take the advice that's given to you. You're the one who picked up the phone and made the call and said, hey, I screwed up. I need advice. Now you don't like what you hear, so you want to argue it? Man up. Man up. Take your kids. Get out. Run, dude. Run. Fix what you broke as best as you can.
And that means no more sex with her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm telling you, it sends a mixed message. You know, I always use the analogy on the program. Have you ever had a stray animal at your door? Stray dog, stray cat?
Yeah, you feed it.
You feed it the first time because it's so cute. And there it is, eating. And, oh, look, he's eating. Look, he's hungry and he's eating. Ooh. And then the next day, the cat comes back. And you feed it again. Oh, look, it's eating. Ooh, how cute. Well, you know what? About 7 or 8 days later, this is not fun anymore. It's an obligation. And the cat is scratching on the door and meowing and hissing and demanding and rubbing up against your leg like saying, come on already, where's the food? And you're tired of it. But the fact is, you feed it again, just because now the cat is demanding. Now, you say to yourself, why won't this cat leave? Right? Why won't the cat leave, Luke?
I gave it what it wanted.
You gave it what it wanted even after you said, I'm tired of this.
Yeah. Good analogy.
So you can't be doing this. If you're definitely leaving, definitely stop having sex with her.
All right, and the whole thing with her using my truck for transportation, take that away, of course, too. And when I move out, everything's gone, done.
That's it. And that means you're not coming back to play with her kids, hard as that may be. You're not going to be doing visitation as if you're a divorced dad. You're going to cut it off. And that's good for the kids, too, by the way. Bad in the short term, good in the long run.
Well, one of her kids is 20, and he's in a band. So, Is it still okay for him to invite me to a concert and me go?
He's an adult?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if he's an adult, I guess you could do what you like, but no going over and playing with minor children. No.
All right.
And no going over to her house anymore either. When you're gone, you're gone.
All right.
You have to do it.
You're right.
All right, Luke. Let me know how you make out. Okay?
All right.
Please. Thanks a lot for the call.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Leykis.
Dude, philosophy and everything, man, you're the master. You're not father, you're the master.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis here, 1-800-5800-TOM. It's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. We're talking about a listener named Robert who emailed me. Told me that, loyal listener for about 10 years, but he thought he knew more than I did. Went ahead, got involved with a woman who moved to New York from Los Angeles to study nursing. And he stayed behind in L.A. to clean up unfinished business. And by the time he got to New York, he found out his girl was cheating on him when she was there by herself. And so he admitted that I knew more than he did. And I'm talking to people who realized the hard way that I knew more than they did. Is that you? Call me. 1-800-5800-TOM is our number. 1-800-5800-866. Angel on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
How are you, Tom?
Great.
Okay, listen, I'm the same, the other guys I thought I knew more than you do. But even though I kind of, knew probably what I was doing, I don't know, I think I fell in love with this woman. She's a single mom.
Oh.
And even though, I just wanted some, but I started going out with her. Started out with her like over a year, so I got hooked to her. Now I don't know what to do, Tom. I think I'm in love with her because I want her. I don't know what can I do in order for me to get game, or what should I do I cannot get away from her. I don't know why. I got kind of used to her.
You got used to her, but come on, did you want to be a parent?
Not really. She got already 2 kids, and we haven't had any sex anyway at all yet.
What? Wait, what?
Can you believe that, Tom?
Yes, I believe you're a pussy. Absolutely.
I guess I am. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if what would be the best thing to do here? Run away, but at the same time, I can't because I don't know.
I can't. Yeah, you realize how many women you could be having sex with that you're not because you're committed to this chick?
Well, yeah. Well, I don't think she demands anything from me. Probably just going out, and probably inviting her for lunch, things like that, But other than that, she doesn't demand any other thing. So,
but why are you doing it?
Because I like being with her. I enjoy,
Well, you enjoy a woman who's not attracted to you?
She's attracted to me, but
she's not.
She just doesn't want to give it up. I don't know why.
Well, she's given it up to others.
I don't know that.
What? Wait a minute. Was she married?
Yes, she was.
Yeah, how'd that work out for her?
She said she doesn't like, unless she's in a relationship. I mean, really
but you think you are in a relationship.
Well, she considered me her friend, her really good friend, but other than that, she doesn't want to go beyond that.
But that means she's not attracted to you.
Is something I can do to do so, you know, like have some game and at least get some, and that's it. Probably that's what I want, and then run away probably.
Well, but the point is you don't have a relationship. She's not interested. She told you.
So should I leave it alone? No.
Of course.
It's hard for me to
She told you. Wait a minute. She told you she's not interested.
Well, she has said she likes me as a friend. She has been a friend.
You know what I like you as a friend means?
Not really.
It means I am never going to have sex with you no matter what.
I'm hoping that somewhere along the way she will change her mind.
That is not going to happen. You see, the time people are interested, the time chemistry ignites, is when two people meet. If there is no chemistry when two people meet, it is not created in the laboratory later on. It is there or it is not.
Oh.
Let's say you take two compounds, okay? Let's say you take, what is that acid they always do with the potato? They always do some acid test with a potato. Dean, do you remember that? When you were in science class, they would take a potato and they would put it with an acid, and then the potato would turn black. Now, let's say you took a substance, some acid, and you put it with a potato, and the potato looked like a potato, and it continued to look like a potato. Do you think it would turn black sometime down the line?
I guess it will, yeah.
No, it wouldn't. If it doesn't happen right away, it's not going to happen.
It's not.
No, chemistry is there, or it's not.
Well, I think at first I lost my chance, because at first she was really into me. She wanted to go out with me all the time, be with me all the time. But then, as time went by, I was not interested in her at all that much. I want just to be her company, but not really, wanted sex from her.
You are her gay friend. Do you know that? You're her gay friend who she confides in. And by the way, when she meets a man she is physically attracted to, the first person she's going to call with the good news is you.
Really?
That's right. Angel, I wanted you to be the first to know. I met somebody, and he's wonderful, and because you're my friend, I knew you'd understand. That's where this is going.
Yeah, there is something interesting that I think she found a guy she also hangs out with, but at the same time she wants to hang out with me too, but...
Because she needs her gay friend to talk to.
But she sent me mixed messages. Feel like she wants me, but then at the same time, just,
She's not sending you mixed messages. She said she just wants you as a friend.
Yeah,
That's not a mixed message. That's a very direct message. You don't understand. It's like us speaking Chinese. You just don't understand Chinese. Let me translate for you. Okay. I just want you as my friend means I'm not attracted to you.
Okay, so a good idea would be just to get away, because I'm so attached to her now that, I want something more.
Because you have been delusional. You are attached to a woman who is not attracted to you, does not find you attractive, will not have sex with you under any circumstances. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to stay there and stay there and stay there until she tells you she's getting married. And she wanted you to be the first to know.
You're right. I'm staying there because I'm just hoping someday she will give it up.
It doesn't work that way.
No. So what was the solution in here, Tom?
The solution is get the hell out of there.
Oh, God. That's going to hurt a lot.
Get used to it.
Okay.
She will never, ever, ever have sex with you. Ever.
Never, ever.
Ever.
Well, she told me one time we can go out somewhere far away,
And fine, and she's going to bring her flannel nightgown, and she's going to sleep in the other bed.
Really?
Yes.
Well, she mentioned something like this time is going to be like your time, you're gonna do what you want to do with me, and that. Say, oh, wow, well, then I go.
Yeah, meaning you can take me on a vacation that you'll pay for. You can take me away for the weekend that you'll pay for.
Yeah. Well, but then she said she kind of, not directly. She said you will finally get it, something like that, So
she's just jerking your chain.
So it will be a waste of time then to take this trip.
Waste of time.
And money.
Correct.
Well, even though, Tom, so there is nothing I can do in here, just to get away then.
Get away.
Okay.
Follow the rules.
Tom. Thank you for your advice.
Well, I'm here to help. Angel, I appreciate the call. Thanks for calling in.
The Tom Leykis Show.